Constituency Meeting Report for 2015. For 2015, the Seventh-day Adventist Church in St. Lucia has been active in ongoing process evangelism as it seeks firstly to be relevant by building relationships with the community and secondly by preparing for Vision 1 Million and evangelism in general. The Sabbath School Action Units made the preparation for Vision 1 Million and future evangelism easier, since a greater percentage of the membership is now involved in active ministry in the community and in the life of the church. St. Lucia celebrated Global Youth Day on February 14th, where many districts went out in their communities and ministered in various ways. This initiative of the Youth Department helped to give impetus to the preparation for Vision 1 Million. For Vision 1 Million, over 30 lay crusades and one mega crusade were conducted simultaneously across the island. Vision 1 Million ended with 2 grand baptism ceremonies, which were conducted in the north and south of the island. In one Sabbath, over 150 precious souls were baptized from these 2 sites. Overall, 688 individuals were baptized during this divine initiative. We praise God for His leading in 2015, which has seen over 700 souls being baptized due to the strong emphasis on process evangelism. After Vision 1 Million, the Seventh-day Adventist Church in St. Lucia has been busy consolidating and building on the progress made thus far during the year. Every program or initiative has sought to fulfill the objective of creating an impact. During the months of July to September, the departments of the mission and churches hosted various key initiatives. St. Lucia was proud to host youth from across the Union for Activate St.Lucia. Over 1,200 youth from 10 different conferences and missions gathered here to impact every community in St. Lucia in Phase 1 from July 20th to July 24th through community outreach and projects. The second phase of the Congress, the youth converged at the Beauséjour Cricket Ground indoor facility to be spiritually nourished and to be challenged to become better individuals and leaders as we prepare ourselves and others for eternity. Adriana Langelier from the Vieux-Fort district made us proud as she won the Caribbean Union Bible Boom, making St. Lucia the winner for the second consecutive year. Sports evangelism is growing around the island as we engage the youth in sporting activities and events in 2015. One such sporting activity is the Adventist Premier League, which launched in May with the participation of all districts. It culminated in August with Lambe veterans emerging as winners. Master Guide Fair was held April 2nd to the 6th, 2015. It saw approximately 608 Master Guides in action in spite of the challenges of Vision 1 Million in the first quarter of the year. The year culminated with our annual Pathfinder and Adventurer Investiture Service, where 725 Pathfinders and Adventurers were invested. An Evangelism and Conservation Conference was hosted by the Personal Ministries Department under the theme Seeking the Lost and Keeping the Found, with Dr. Fasaduddin Hussain and Pastor Ashton O'Neill as facilitators. During this weekend, pastors and over 300 elders, lay preachers, and key church officers were equipped for soul winning and conservation. This conference had a strong emphasis on personal evangelism and conservation of new converts. The Community Services Department sought to impact the island during its Community Services Convention when it presented food hampers to institutions across the island. On that day, 175 individuals were invested in the community services work. The Island Church showed genuine benevolence when it responded to our sister isle Dominica after it was ravaged by Tropical Storm Erica. St. Lucia donated approximately $21,000 in cash to the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Dominica and also shipped food items and clothing at an estimated cost of $4,000. The Island Church, through the Community Services Department, also responded to the fire victims in Miku and presented checks of over $1,800 to 3 families. Move to Live, which is an initiative of the Health Department, saw record numbers this year, with hundreds of individuals from all classes of society and religious persuasions turning out. The Minister of Youth and Sports, Honorable Sean Edwards, commended the contribution of the church in helping to fight lifestyle diseases at the official launching ceremony at the end of the walk. The Publishing Department, in an effort to revive the ministry in St. Lucia, hosted the first ever Literature Evangelist Rally Week. A grand convention was hosted in the south of the island, which saw many individuals signing up for this all-important ministry. Our schools are known to be performing at or above the national mean. Most of our primary schools have emerged in the first 3 positions in their districts. The St. Lucia SD Academy has consistently ranked between 5th and 10th on the island, and 2015 was no exception, in spite of the low performance in the science subjects. The overall percentage pass for the St. Lucia SD Academy was 68.97. In 2015, the department launched a management strategy to help focus all our schools strategically. This management focus is dubbed Safe Schools. Safe Schools is an initiative to help bring all our schools to a standard that could surpass the national and regional expectations and could make all our institutions schools of choice. SAFE is an acronym that stands for Spiritually Charged, Academic Rigor, Financially Viable, and Excellent Service. We are intentional and deliberate about the spiritual ethos of our schools. Hence, our consecration service, week of prayer, and Bible class have led to 77 baptisms in 2015. This year saw our Seventh-day Adventist Academy winning the much-coveted National Science Quiz competition. In an effort to educate the membership, the Education Department hosted an Education Blitz on Sabbath, 16th May. Almost every church on the island was informed and enlightened. To strengthen their aim in SAFE, the department conducted a variety of academic workshops for teachers and principals with the focus on safe schools. Our schools are working towards becoming financially viable. Remittance to the mission has already shown signs of improvement. During the period of review, the Department of Education focused on the promotion of Seventh-day Adventist education. Among the major achievements is the publication of a newsletter. The department made available 100 brochures, which our very supportive President and Executive Secretary distributed to alumni in New York and California. The department has written a proposal and has gotten a grant of US $25,000 to furnish the lab with computers. This lab will consist of a smart board, projector, whiteboard, 35 computers, and new furniture. An exquisite dinner promoting our e-magazine was hosted by the Education Department's Finance Committee. The committee has undertaken 2 main projects in keeping with our aim of becoming financially viable. The dinner and e-magazine promotion brought in over $25,000. The funds raised is being used to establish the Francis Mason Mathematics Lab at the St. Lucia SD Academy. The Education Department, through its Finance Committee, in an effort to raise funds, hosted the first ever Go Miles with Reading walk. Hundreds of people supported this activity. Over $3,000 was raised in this event. The Children's Ministries Department held the first ever Child Safety Seminar, which was attended by hundreds of individuals, including numerous non-Seventh-day Adventists. This program was replicated in 2 other districts. In addition, the following activities were undertaken: 4 leaders empowerment training conducted, 115 individuals were certified, officers training in the north and the south of the island. In the Family Life Department, there was a 67% participation of the churches across the island in the Christian Home and Marriage Week. Approximately 163 persons were affected by direct and indirect family life encounters. There were 14 external programs conducted for schools, government and private entities. 9 Parenting Week programs were reported. 4 single conferences or seminars were conducted. The Sabbath School Department hosted the following activities: Sabbath School Officers Training at the Mount Olives SDA Church and Sabbath School Action Unit Training at the Grosley Seventh-day Adventist Church. The Women's Ministry's devotional books continue to be a ministering tool to leading ladies of the state. 30 copies of the books were distributed to personalities such as the Governor General, wives of parliamentarians, female doctors, and more. Significant prayer initiatives were conducted by the department. The one-day prayer retreat that was held at the Eucharist Lewis Primary School was both timely and rewarding. More than 300 sisters attended the communion service in the morning. The End It Now Abuse Prevention Initiative was conducted in the village of Miku. Women from the south of the island gave very good support to the march which encircled the village. Some of the speakers came from government institutions as well as SDA nurses and health professionals. The one-day conference for young women, Girls of Excellence and Moral Standards, was held in the village of Denry at Bethel Blessings Conference Room. This program was well attended. More than 300 young women, coordinators, parents, and well-wishers were in attendance. One female farmer from Plateau, who operates a farm in Maki, was blessed with the first kudme. Brothers and sisters from 5 churches came together to provide a joyous and productive working day. The Prison Ministries program is limping through no fault of the department. There has been a change in personnel and significant changes were made to the program. One of the significant blessings experienced by the department is a privilege to have 2 programs, one on Sabbath twice a month and a skills program every Monday from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. All female inmates were able to construct a well-fitted skirt and a freestyle fit blouse. The inmates proudly wore their garments to the various court appearances. Also during the Jeune Creole month department, the ladies were given the opportunity to model their garments at a very special function at the prison. The St. Lucia Mission is in the process of establishing a Seventh-day Adventist presence in villages that previously did not have an Adventist presence. The Bible workers and intern pastors have been working assiduously to break down barriers. Due to the work in the village and contributions from the Global Missions Fund, 8 individuals have already been baptized in the village of Labrie and 14 in Lafargue. These were the major activities undertaken for the period under review by the Adra Department.
The Director and Ms. Karen Perino paid a courtesy call to the National Emergency Management Organization NEMO to reconfirm the status of the mission's Memorandum of Understanding with the organization NEMO and also to offer a service to Praise FM. The Adventist Development Relief Agency Adra Board of Management was established and voted by the mission's executive committee. Since then, the department have had several meetings to include an induction and orientation of the Adra board members held at the Eucharist Lewis SDA Primary School, hosted a community service, health and safety and Adra seminar held June 21st, 2015 at the St.Lucia SD Academy. This program was implemented in collaboration with Pastor Lucius Philip and Miss Rosemary Daisy. The presenters were Pastor Theodore Jaria, Union Communication Director, Miss Rosemary Daisy, Missions Treasurer, and Mr. Hubert Pierre, Red Cross Representative. The Communication and Adra departments wish to acknowledge the noteworthy contribution of the 3 persons cited above. Thank you, gentlemen and lady, for a job well done. A joint stewardship and Adra seminary was held at the Mark SDA Church on Sabbath, October 3rd, 2015. The President, Pastor Johnson Frederick, and Pastor Alexander Isaacs, Adra and Stewardship Directors, facilitated the day's event on the subject of faithfulness to God in all things. Participants were encouraged to be faithful to God. An Adra board in collaboration with the Community Service Department representatives was held on September 30th, 2015 with Pastor Alexander Isaacs of the Union and President Pastor Johnson Frederick. One of the reasons for the joint meeting is to develop and foster level collaboration in the mission. Praise FM Radio Board of Management was established and voted by the Missions Executive Committee, and since then, the department has had hosted several events and programs to include an evangelistic crusade on Praise FM Radio for the general public of St. Lucia and further afield. This was very historic. Thanks to Praise FM manager Ms. Karen Perino, Mr. Danny Mooney, who was the preacher for the crusade on air, not forgetting the contributions and support of Praise FM staff. A 9-page board operating handbook for the induction and orientation of Praise FM board members was developed by the Communication Adra Director. The document is to be used for the induction and orientation of new board members. Praise FM Board of Management has voted and instituted a strategic planning committee and given its terms of reference to prepare a 5-year strategic plan for Praise FM Radio. The committee has already commenced its work several weeks now. The members are Anita James, Chairperson; Karen Perino, Secretary and Manager of Praise FM; Donovan Rennie; and Wilker Compton. The following are programs that the Communication Director assisted missions personnel, including Pastors Philip, Bisset, Morian, and Vitalis, on the mission's website, and the program hosted externally and with the help of Mr. Danny Mooney and Mr. Lance Octave from Lnostudios, namely the National Evangelism and Baptism, which took place early in 2015 with Pastor Terry John; the National Convention, January 2015; several programs for Pastor Lucius Philip; one program for the President, Pastor Johnson Frederick; one program for Pastor Nick Vitalis; and one program for Pastor Dalston Morian.
Mission website. The mission's website has been updated to some extent with current stories and activities undertaken by the mission and churches with the help of Mr. Danny Mooney and input from the directors cited earlier in this report. Among other things, these items were recently added to the website. Number 1, addition of a devotional thought section on the website's homepage. Number 2, addition of an upcoming event section on the website's homepage. And number 3, the use of the website to make interactive Praise FM's youth evangelistic outreach held from September 28th to October 10th, 2015.
We thank God for the successes and challenges in 2015 and pray for His leading in 2016.